It's Podular. Welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday, July 10th. This is episode 37. Boy, do we have a lot to get into today. It is STS9 Day. Happy STS9 Day, folks, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, we've got the show tonight at the Crystal Ballroom back in Portland, Oregon. The band's long-awaited proper return to the Pacific Northwest. We've got some new music to talk about before that. We've got some new show announcements to remind you of. And we're going to hop into the Pacific Northwest time capsule of STS9. We're going to do some show predictions and then get you on your way. But, Scotty, how you doing, Mr. Co-host?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good. The last 2 weeks I've been I've been on here. I haven't had air conditioning, hence the basketball jerseys, if you guys have noticed. And we're back to a nice chilly house after spending an absolute shit ton of money. But happy to be here. Pumped about anybody that is getting some fresh STS9 this weekend. As of the recording of this podcast, we do not have any official confirmation of a stream, but we are fingers crossed for that. But pumped for anybody that's about to see some STS9.
Yes, the sleeves are back. It's good to see the sleeves back. I like the sleeveless look quite a bit, but it's good to have a sleeve podcast. Got the collar on today too. Actually, I had to rep
Yeah.
my Oregon Ducks in honor of STS9's proper return to the Pacific Northwest. We've seen bits and pieces of STS9 there in the last handful of years, but super excited to get some really nice throwdowns here up in the northwest of the U.S. here. But yeah, first things first. Obviously, we're recording this beforehand, so we don't have it. We're not sure when it's going to be released, but some really exciting news this week on the new STS9 song, the freshest release off the Human Dream Project, titled "The Sky's the Limit." Another Sky song, Scotty. How are we feeling about it?
Man, we are it's kind of like it's kind of like Billy Strings and his Train songs, right? We're starting to develop an identity around these Sky songs, and getting enough to put together a proper set if they ever so choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write them all down before, but are we at five Sky songs right now?
Oh, man, I should have done that beforehand. I'm sure there's quite a few more, but I can do some uh,
Oh yeah.
quick
Uh,
research on that. But in the meantime, Scotty, what do you think? Are we getting the release of the song on Bandcamp at some point on Thursday? Do we think we'll see a live debut of it at the Crystal Ballroom on Thursday night? What are your thoughts?
Well, so I think that it'll probably be out before they step on stage tonight. Um, but I because that's how it's been. They've been dropping these on streaming platforms on Friday per the music industry standard these days. And they've been giving it to us on Bandcamp at random times on Thursday. So I'd imagine we get it by Thursday afternoon at the latest. And do they play it at this first stop? I say probably, because I don't think you're going to see a single repeat in these next 4 days, which is pretty intriguing, right?
That's super exciting, man.
Yeah,
It's really
I
exciting.
can't remember the last time that was a thing. A lot of opportunity for points here for us selfishly, and I think they continue the trend of playing the singles that they've been dropping. With the exception of Portal, which they haven't played yet, but I think you
Hmm.
see Portal, and I think you see Sky's the Limit probably pretty early in this run would be my guess.
So, doing a little bit of digging here. We're up to now with that one with Sky's the Limit, 7 Sky songs.
Seven Sky
All
songs.
right.
So that's a heady set. That's a heady
Yeah.
like some jams, some modular sections in there, but you could do
Hmm.
it. So
Let's
what
let, let,
really?
let, let's talk about them. Sky Space
Hmm.
off Chromolite, Walk the Sky,
Okay.
Sky World,
Yep,
That one might be
banger.
my favorite.
Fucking banger.
Sky
Yep.
High, Push the Sky,
I forgot about Push the Sky.
and Midwestern Sky is probably one that you forget
Okay.
as
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
And then this new one, Sky's the Limit. The sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Bro, what if it's
It's
what
a
if we get a
Lil
Lil Wayne
Wayne.
sample? That would be fucking
Man.
nuts.
I mean,
Obviously, probably not,
yeah,
but
they took the Outcast samples out of Strange Games, so I don't know if they're pulling the Wayne sample, but who knows? I've been wrong.
well, all
Um,
Wayne does is crush everyone else's beats, so maybe he'd be okay with it. But
maybe so. And that sound that bite is a song is a crush beat of his. It's
yes,
I have a hard time remembering. Is it the Mike Jones, the Mr. Jones? Is that the? I think
mm,
that's the song.
I forget the way it
Positive.
goes.
I'm almost positive it's a Mike Jones song.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
don't.
die with my finger on the trigger.
Yeah, it's that one. I just don't know what the Mike Jones version of it sounds like, but I'm almost positive that's
Yeah,
his.
it's that heavy piano, the dun dun
Yep.
dun dun
Hmm.
dun dun dun, then the bells. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Before we get into anything else, let's acknowledge our opening clip, right? Um, Another Sky type song with what we had
Hmm.
going on there.
Yeah.
Um,
Clips.
if people did not recognize it, that is Eclipse from the 2017 Oregon Eclipse Festival in Big Prairie, Oregon, the August 20th, 2017 set, where the band played 2 nights at an unbelievable event, is what I heard, where it was in the path of totality of the solar eclipse there. Two really cool shows that they played, but that in particular, man, the only other time Eclipse was played was in 2001 at the Boulder Theater, which was eventually put on the Seasons '01 album. So that is um, the only other version that exists. So, fuck man, that shit is so cool. Coming out of World Go Round, comes out of World Go Round, into the Eclipse, into Circus. Really cool segment there. So that's kind of the first taste of the um, Pacific Northwest time capsule that we've got going here. But before
Hmm.
we get into that, I know we ended the show with these announcements last week, but we wanted to give you guys another just reminder of some of the show announcements that went down the prior week in terms of the Boulder Theater and in terms of the refinery. So, Scotty, you want to remind the folks how to get their Boulder Theater ticks?
Yes, Boulder Theater tickets are going to be available through a lottery. All ticket holders for the show for the Dylan show will receive a unique code via email to purchase the tickets for the Boulder Theater. If you do not have your your Dylan tickets, buy those. I would imagine that the if there are any left, which I'd be surprised if there were, those will be on sale at some point, but. There are way more fucking seats in Dillon than there are at the Boulder Theater. So, um,
Not
you're not.
everyone's gonna get in there.
Nope. Um, and so yeah, get your Dillon tickets. As of the taping of this podcast, I have not heard anything more of that lottery. Have you gotten anything,
No,
Nate?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the
Um,
safe bet now is get your Dylan tickets
yep.
to have a shot at those Boulder tickets.
Hmm.
And then we got the refinery in Charleston. Those tickets are on sale now. That is October 3rd and October 4th. The band went there last fall. I believe it was the fall. Yeah. And
Yeah.
everyone had great things to say about
I think
that
it was the
venue.
same weekend.
Those shows. Yeah, it was around the same weekend for sure. And another thing worth a note, dude, this touch grass little merch
Uh-huh.
drop here,
Yeah, shout out Taylor.
bro. That towel, bro. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, that baseball jersey with the
Uh-huh.
Rainbow Nine logo. You got a real cool kind of trucker hat, a couple of color
Yeah,
variants
the
of the
the
trucker
rope
hat.
trucker hat. It looks like it's embroidered on the
The
bill too.
sunglasses,
The wings.
you got some socks, you got a lighter, you got a tote bag, you got a keychain that says "Portal to a Starry Path," and looks like you got a sticker pack and maybe a couple of pens.
Mm-hmm.
So they continue to listen to the fans on these merch drops. I mean, Taylor's had this pretty secure for a while now, but there was a time where there were plenty of people that had some negative things to say about STS9's consistency in their merchandise. And a friend of the pod, and more importantly, just a good friend of ours in general, Taylor Houston Morgan, is kind of taken this whole process and reinvented it and turned it into something that's really cool and impressive and has a theme to it. So yeah, another great merch drop. You go get all that shit. It's really quality stuff.
Absolutely. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk Pacific
Do it.
Northwest. Scotty, have you traveled the Pacific Northwest before?
I have not. I've never been anywhere close. Closest I've been is Wave Spell. Honestly, I've never been up
Okay.
there.
That's right on the border there. Absolutely. I myself have been very lucky to spend quite a bit of time in the Pacific Northwest and see the band a few times in the Pacific Northwest. Um, Man, it is the most beautiful place I've ever been to in the United States, and I've been all over to both to see this band and just on regular trips. My sister went to University of Oregon, so I got a chance to go visit her out there a few times. Great story. Her freshman year was the Marcus Mariota Heisman year, Oregon
Nice.
national championship year. So me and my family go out to homecoming that year, and Fish is playing at Matt Knight Arena after
Oh,
they beat UCLA 52 to 10. And I was like, "Oh, well,
no
Alan, we're
way.
going to Fish." We're at the show, and I was like, they just beat the shit out of the UCLA Bruins, which is a big deal. They love doing that there. And then a couple hours later, we're watching Fish fucking crush. And like during the show, I turned to my sister. I'm like, you chose a really cool fucking school.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
So, I mean, for those of you going out here that have never been before, those of you that have been before, you know what you're getting into. There is a different energy in this part of the country, and the band is certainly going to tap into that with some outdoor shows, some indoor shows, and some really cool music they're playing along with too that we'll get to here. But you're going to start the weekend in Portland at the Crystal Ballroom, which the band has a lot of history there. We'll get into it a little bit with some of our Pacific Northwest capsule clips. Um, Take the time to drive up through the Mount Rainier Forest. Trust me. My God, is it beautiful? Portland's a great city, great beer town. It's actually where I got my tattoo. My
Oh,
STS
nice. I didn't know
one
that.
and only tattoo. Me and Steven got him. Um, and yeah, you're gonna go from the Crystal Ballroom on Thursday or tonight,
Tonight.
and then for those of you guys doing all four, you're heading up to Bellingham, Washington, which is just a little bit north of Seattle, near the Canadian-Washington border, for the Northwest Tune-Up here. Scotty, we got some cool fucking music going on
Quite the tune up.
that day. Yeah. If you get there in time around 5:30, you're gonna start with Far Side. Fucking sick hot hip hop
Yeah.
group. Yeah. And then a Chet Faker DJ set. And then right into STS9 9:20 to 11 p.m. set. So one of those longer, not quite the 2 hour sets that we like, but longer extended set there. So should be super exciting to see that. And then down to um, down to Seattle for the what I think, and that Sunday Seattle show might
Mm-hmm.
be, yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
to circle on the calendar. It might be the show of the year,
Right.
outside of a big event that they do. But I don't know too much about this venue. The Crocodile Old Look in Seattle for a proper 2 night run here. Yeah, obviously these three shows between Portland, Seattle, and Seattle again on Sunday. You're getting 6 sets of STS9. No openers, right? Proper evenings with. Uh, yeah, I mean, you're in for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a really good weekend, and for this week's time capsule, instead of just highlighting like one or two of these cities, fuck it, we're just gonna go to the whole Pacific Northwest because there's such a rich history in the band, not just in these two cities, but in different little towns around these cities. So we're going to start at the aforementioned Eugene, Oregon, home of the Ducks, Wild Duck Brewery here. This show is a show that's talked about quite a bit, and we're going to start here for our first clip.
Bibbs is lifting heavy. It's like he heard me. Ugh. Whoa.
Jesus. The aliens are talking.
Oh my God.
Good God. Yeah, y'all been asking for it. Y'all been clamoring for it. The Pacific Northwest STS-9, and we're starting in the year 2000 in Eugene, Oregon. Let's fucking go, Scotty. We're so fucking
Na-
back.
Nathan, I was 35 years, 138 days, 7 hours, and 30 minutes old before I heard that moon socket for the first time.
That is widely considered by a lot of people one of the best moon sockets ever. Um, this show, Scotty, like you said before we started recording, is one you're going to be taking front to back to take a listen
Right.
to here. Uh,
Absolutely. I've never heard this show before, but just simply looking at the set list from this show, it is an assault on your senses. You start off with a 20-minute long evasive come why, and it followed by a 20-minute long water song. So we're 40 minutes into this motherfucker and two songs in. This is a disco biscuit show at this point. Um, then you got a Wicked Chicana into Basso Profundo, back into Wicked Chicana, Mischief of a Sleepwalker, a 14-minute tap in set, and then you come in set two with In Summer Angels, that 22-minute moon socket that you just
which it's like three different fucking jams in that moon
yeah
socket. It's
yeah.
fucking crazy. Yeah.
It's and then let's see, then a
Into
16-minute
orbital,
orbital.
into
Yeah.
the so
Oh
that's 39 minutes
yeah.
right there of just fucking like absolute cosmic goodness right there.
So
Fuck
so
me
you've
up,
got
dude.
you've got two, at least two sections of music, two stretches of music that are 40 minutes long without stopping. Um, and then you get King Pharaoh's Tomb into 4 Year Puma. No fucking encore. Fuck you. Go home. Get out of here.
Man. So, it's on Bandcamp. Everyone take a listen.
It is.
If you've got some people this weekend, Pacific Northwest, gonna need some road teams, right, with some of these trips. And believe me, driving 4 or 5 hours in the Pacific Northwest seems like driving 45 minutes anywhere else. It's fucking beautiful. November 10th, 2000, Wild Duck Brewery, front to back, an absolute banger. So. Whew, what a way to start. We're gonna go forward 10 years to a little bit of a rarity here. Just had the opportunity to play this song, and I don't think we'll have many other opportunities to do so. So we're going to uh, February 21st, 2010, at the Showbox in Seattle. Yeah, let's fucking go. Go, Hunter. Man, find a place, find a place in the lineup for that one, man.
You think so?
I think it's time. I think it's
Okay.
time. Um, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna say it how I say it. How I think I'd said how I've heard other people say it. You're gonna tell me it's wrong. I love a RE stereo. Um, it was a song that they were playing a little bit when I started to get a lot more serious with them. I got a chance to see them play at Axe at the House of Blues in 2013 in Chicago. Obviously written for the Axe the Cables side of things, and kind of I would say an Axe song. I could really see a resurgence similar to how we saw a resurgence with a song like Life Sweet Breath with this. So
That was what I was
I'll
gonna
I'll
say.
sit back and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, it's fucking RE stereo. Why? How do you manage to get these so wrong? Like, what are you talking about? There's no dot in between it. It is re stereo. Like, come on. Like that.
Come on, bro. Just let
You
me be wrong about stuff and don't get me guff about it.
no,
I
bro.
fucking say it.
You were standing alone on this island. Um,
As I have before.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I love you. So yeah, as far as this song, I would love to see it pop up. That was you actually kind of took the words right out of my mouth with the life sweet breath thing. The my only thought about this is, you know, as far as the reason why they wouldn't bring it back is I feel like this song almost already exists in like Life Sweet Breath. It's a little different, but I guess it serves kind of the same purpose in a set list, right? Um,
Yeah.
but it's cool for what it is, man. It's a rarity. As I look at the times it's been played, I've never seen it live, so just for the sake of catching one on of add another notch to my belt, I would love to see it. Yeah, premiered in Gates Opera Hall, and then was played 4 times in between that, and kind of all except for the Old Town School of Folk Music in Chicago. It was played as an encore at the Showbox in Seattle, which is that's the one we just listened to, right?
Yep.
Yep. And then George's Majestic the day before my first STS9 show, and then at Amos South in Charlotte, North Carolina. But yeah, I mean, they want to play it again, they can. But I don't know. I feel like there's a few songs that kind of sound like this.
Okay, that's fair. I love, well, Jeffrey on the xylophone
Yeah,
first. Love that. I just love the when it kind of comes full circle like that. I
sure.
just think it's a really pretty song that could be a switch up from something like a Life Sweet Breath. I don't think we've seen Life Sweet Breath very often lately either.
Was Reach
Um,
Stereo part of the part of that soundtrack for the movie that they scored? You know what I'm
it's a
talking
good
about?
question for regeneration. Um,
No, no, not for
no, no, not
Regeneration.
regeneration.
All God's children can dance. That was the movie. It was based on a short story by Haruki Murakami. And yeah, they did the score for that movie. I have it somewhere. I've never watched it though.
And what year was that released?
2006.
2006. So that makes sense. Could have been for regeneration too.
Okay.
It was regeneration. Was 19 premiered in 2010. So regeneration premiered in 2010. So that's a little bit more likely, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Um,
probably right.
but it was debuted in 2009 at Gates Opera Hall. And so it leads me to believe it was written for the first Axe the Cables performance,
Mm.
and obviously a part of that release. But either way, a cool rarity to dive into, and had to take the opportunity to revisit it. So we're gonna stay in the Murph era for one more clip, and we're gonna stay at the Showbox in Seattle for one more clip here. So we'll get to this one. People fucking love that shit, dude.
Can I tell you a secret, Nate?
Oh Lordy, tell me.
I prefer this version of ABCs to the classic
Oh,
version.
he's so wrong this time again. Look who's
I
wrong.
prefer it. I prefer it. I'll be wrong. I'll be loud and wrong. Um, I prefer it, man. So I would compare. I have a couple of thoughts about this ABCs. First of all, I would the reason that I feel this way is it's just to me. I grew up on this ABCs. I saw 20 shows in 2013. I don't have the same relationship with that year that most people have. I have a very good relationship with that year, and I saw a lot of ABCs in this form. It took me until now to realize that. I think it took me till now. If I did realize it before today when I was in the car researching for this episode, I do not remember having the realization that the second half of the ABCs that existed in 2012 and 2013, like the one we heard, ended up becoming World Go Round. I hadn't put that together yet. Um, but I also I think that these two songs, or I guess this song, it's just at this point it's just ABCs. But these two songs can still work in harmony. If only just for a cool seg, one time. There's no reason that the current version of STS9 couldn't pull off this seg and kind of as a cool hat tip to this version
Oh
of it.
yeah, the trouble so hard section was played
Yeah.
actually in 2019 at the House of Blues in Chicago, night 3.
Oh, it was?
Oh yeah.
But during
Uh
the
this was the show you decided to skip.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was a world go round, trouble so hard world go round. That is
Okay.
uh February 17th, 2019. If anyone's looking to hear the 2.0 version of that, it's super fucking cool. They go into like a full, just straight up Moby cover, um, out of World Go Round, back into World Go Round. This show in particular is one of the best shows I've ever seen. This was the return of Funky House,
Mhm.
Mobsters, Funky House, Potamus, Mobsters, Pianoir. Uh, that's a segment we'll have to spend some time on at some point on the show. But no, man.
That was a Sunday show too, wasn't it?
Yes. You're on the lonely island, there, but I'll agree with you with you bring up a good point. I think me and you have a different relationship with 2013. A lot of other people do. It brings back good memories. It is the essence of a time capsule, right? It brings
Yeah.
you back to that fucking moment. It you can see the fucking pyramid. You can
Mhm.
see Murph the Raptor getting fucking down to it
Yeah.
and putting his bass guitar away and playing the MIDI controller. It's cool. It is cool. But man, what do you say? Let's get down to business, dude.
Mhm.
Let's fast forward to 2016 here for our next
Yeah.
clip. Yeah.
Spent a lot of time in the Murph era in the last couple weeks. Let's get back to our comfort zone.
Yeah, come on. Let's do this.
Huh. Oh my goodness gracious.
Pew, 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 pew. Dude. All right. All right. All right. We're getting to Portland proper here, baby. Scotty, it has been 9 years, 5 months, and 20 days until today that STS9 has played Portland proper.
Hmm.
Buddy, you got to go back to, this is going to sound crazy. You got to go back to Winter Spring Tour 2016, where you saw the band with Greg Ellis. You saw the band end their tour in Chicago. You were there,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Does that not feel like fucking forever ago? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
um,
it also kind of feels like yesterday
I
in a weird
get
way.
that, but in terms of like soundtracks, so much has fucking happened since then.
Yeah. Yeah, for
They've
sure.
they've been a bit different band like three times since then. It
Hmm.
seems like. Um, so this was that tour show. That tour's opener. This show at the Roseland Theater in Portland, Oregon. Scotty, I went to 7 shows on this tour. Uh,
Wow.
I hit
I
this
went.
one, and then Eugene the next
Okay.
day. So I flew into Portland, and then my mom met me in Portland, and we flew down to Eugene, and we saw my mom's first STS9 show on David Phipps's birthday on January 22nd at the McDonald Theater,
I made that show for
Oregon.
him. For
Yeah.
Phipps.
That's a bitchin' show if you ever want to go back to that one. And then Lawrence, Canopy Club, Pageant, Aragon Ballroom, House of Blues Chicago. This tour, bro, was something else. In 2016 before TUI dropped.
Hmm.
This tour goes down as one of the best tours ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every show is worth revisiting. There's something really cool and unique and primal about every single night. They were eating their fucking Wheaties before these shows, man. If you can tell me a better year for F words, I will call you a liar.
Well,
Um,
yeah, 2015 to
maybe.
2015,
Yeah.
2015, 2016. That this was the age of the F word for
Right.
sure. I mean, there's that really good one that we've listened to from Asheville. That one year in 2022 at Salvage
Hmm.
Station.
There's
Uh,
another really good one that we've listened to from Columbus of this same year.
yep, with the
With the
Nautilus.
Nautilus, yeah. It,
Um, but it's this outward, and then we'll play it at some point. Philadelphia 2015 outward.
mhm.
I think
Yeah.
king outward, but you could throw a rock and hit a good outward during these 2 years.
And then
So
there's One a Day, right?
yep.
Which talking about having a different relationship with a year than a song than most. I wasn't around during the One a Show era. I have always viewed One a Day as one of their most diverse songs in terms of how it can be used. And when particularly the Alana versions of One a Day are by and far some of my favorite moments that I see with STS9 when this song pops up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you get, I mean, this show is Segway City, really wet opener, which is really good. New Dawn, New Day, into frequencies two,
Which is
three.
really good.
Really, what is really good as an opener.
Solid.
Yeah, yeah.
Solid. We'll take it.
Um, then this F word into One a Day, Circus, Walk the Light into Kaya.
Cool.
Set to
Cool.
Simulator into Moonsocket. Cool.
Sick.
When the Dust Settles, Luma into Tokyo, Puma, World Go Round, Click Clang Echo, Satori Encore.
Yep.
Yeah, they meant business coming out swinging for this tour. And yeah, speaking of fun, rare, playful set list type shit to do, let's go to just a couple of nights later in Seattle here. R.I.P. David Bowie. My God, that is Totem into Fame by David Bowie from January 23rd, 2016 at the Showbox in Seattle. Scotty, do you know the um, significance of this cover on this night?
I do not, Nate.
David Bowie had passed away just a couple of weeks before on January 10th, 2016.
Ah,
Um,
he was the first of a laundry list of extremely important people to pass away in 2016, if I'm recalling correctly.
You are right about that, definitely.
Mhm.
And a lot of those people have been covered by STS9.
Yep. Hmm.
But
Prince was another one.
they were saving it for Seattle because a lot of people might not know this. David Bowie had a significant impact on the Seattle music scene, particularly influenced Northwest musicians, contributing to the city's cultural landscape. He performed in Seattle early in his career. His influence resonated with local artists and fans, leading to numerous tributes after his death. Um, Very early performances in his career, 1972 and 1976 at the Paramount Theater. A lot of Northwest musicians, including those in the punk and new wave scenes, were inspired by David Bowie's innovative style and stage presence. Tons of tributes happened after his death, and a big cultural impact on the Seattle gay rights culture and overall artistic expression. Drive-In Saturday was a train trip through the desert after playing in Seattle, inspired Bowie to write Drive-In Saturday, and the Rebel Rebel video was shot. Portion of it was shot in Seattle as well.
Did
So,
not know that. I did not know any of that.
as we know, a big Pearl Jam town, but
Mhm.
um, and a big grunge town, big Nirvana town, but also a big David Bowie town. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
So maybe some more of that kind of fuckery happen cover wise. So we are going to move into other parts of the Pacific Northwest for the final two clips, to a show that's talked about quite a bit for a lot of times for the wrong reasons, but we're going to get into one of those right reasons from a portion of this show.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not just some of the good time. Instantly.
Great crowd pop here. Ready?
Nice.
You gotta love those good proud crowd pops.
So let's talk about the song and then talk about why people hate on this show so much.
Okay, yeah, obviously, instantly into a fast call jam.
Mhm.
Back into instantly, and just like a monster ending with the ghetto. Those samples that you don't hear on every instantly, that you
Mhm.
can't get a whiter wash.
Right.
Ghetto. I could do it all fucking night. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen this done at any other time. Again, uh, this was supporting Pretty Lights Live um, in 2017, August 4th at the Gorge.
Were you
Uh,
here?
no,
You weren't?
STS9's one and only performance at the Gorge. Steven was there, and he was texting me. And I would assume it would be after this segment where he was like, dude, they're fucking crushing it. Like, and what I had heard is that the Pretty Lights community loved this set. Um,
Yeah.
he had, and Pretty Lights played his Beyond Right Now remix this weekend. Um, which I mean, dude, I've been to the Gorge. I've been for fish. I can't fucking imagine seeing STS9 there.
Yeah.
That that is the coolest fucking place to see live music in the world. It makes Red Rock seem like child's play. You walk from the campground down up over this hill, and there's a collective holy fucking shit moment for everybody that's like looking down at this. Like, why is a music venue allowed to be here? Just looking at this insanely vast landscape of the Columbia River Gorge and sunsets that seem to last for hours on end. Insane color palettes you get here. But yeah, Scotty, talk to me about this show.
I mean, so as a show, and let me get it pulled up on mine. My bad. Gorge. I was looking at the set list on yours. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like we said, opening for Pretty Lights. What more could you ask for? At the time, I remember thinking, what a really cool full circle moment for Derek
Yeah.
because you know, a lot of people probably got their first taste of Pretty Lights opening up for STS9.
Hmm.
And so what a cool moment to kind of bring it back around and bring STS9 with you. Derek has always struck me as very you know, just very respectful of where he comes from and kind of the influences that he had before him, and so I always really appreciated that part of it. This instantly call jam instantly is quintessential STS9. It just a super solid call jam. It goes really great with instantly. You said I don't know if we ever seen this. I believe that there was an instantly call jam as a part of that wave spell set in 2019 where it was like the
Hmm.
Golden Gato was in there and
Speaking of Wavespell, can we talk about that fame clip? It sounded a little bit like Wavespell, the song. The
yeah, it does.
dun
It does a little
dun
bit.
dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun
Huh.
dun.
Kind
Maybe
of it could
there's
be like the what does your soul look like from DJ Shadow that just ended up becoming a part of Kaya and nobody really ever
yeah.
noticed.
Dun dun dun
Um
dun.
yeah, yeah.
All right, back to
Um
this show though.
back to this show. So, you know, it's about a year, almost to the day, before or after the Universe Inside comes out, and it's a very TUI heavy set, and even on the non TUI songs, a very new set, for the most part, with the exception of that call jam, or instantly call jam, instantly.
Yeah,
Set
and the
starts
rabble.
off, yeah, set starts off with a
Sure.
Rise Above, Get Loud. Then a very, very short EHM into the rabble. Oh, EHM rabble. We talked about this a couple weeks ago for the
Yeah.
anthem.
Fight Club sandwich stuff.
Yeah, there we go. You got a give and take into instantly into call jam and instantly, and then probably what it's fair to say everybody's biggest quip with this show is the premiere of Greenlight, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
not just the premiere of Greenlight. And then I mean, I listen in any other context. This section, World Go Round and Worry No More and Enceladus is
yeah.
cool, but I don't think after you premiere Greenlight and after you set the bar where you set the bar in the middle of the set with that instantly call jam instantly.
Hmm.
That's my take on it. I get the gripe with it. I can go back on the show and look at it fondly. Um, would I have been left there after having been edged by that instantly call jam instantly? Let's be honest, we all finished there. But
Right.
like into like okay, well, like what's the rest of the set gonna look like? And it kind of never returns to that, right?
Sure, and I think one of the things about kind of the perfect storm of why this set isn't necessarily looked back on fondly from a lot of people a lot of these songs now are blow the fucking roof off of whatever building they're in type songs. I
Yeah.
mean, they're
Again, this is 2017. Yeah.
yeah, but worry no more grows to be the moment of the weekend at the Eastern in 2022. Give and
Mhm.
take. I mean, there are so many songs on here that go on to huge greatness and show stealing moments of songs. But all of these songs are very much in the baby phase at this point. So what it
Mhm.
turns into being is a bunch of very by the book versions of everything here, with the exception of the instantly call jam instantly, and then a very very divisive song, kind of the cherry on top in green light, which I guess I understood it at the time. When hearing the story about it and how this was essentially supposed to be an official STS9 remix that was gonna be on a Lord remix project. I mean, what a cool look for the band, and for whatever reason, Lord didn't end up using it. But I mean, this was a very intentional from both camps. It's not like they just grabbed this song and ran with it. And after I
Right.
knew that, I was more proud of them than anything for for even being involved on a kind of fringe end with such an artist like Lord that's huge. So
Sure.
I thought it was cool, but I understand. I totally understand why people have a problem with this set.
Yeah. Now it's balancing, which I think both me and you have grown to love balancing too.
Yeah, played a
But
couple versions on this podcast.
fuck it, I fuck with the green light every now and then. I know a lot of
Yeah,
people do as well. Don't be shy about it. It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
The
It's
first
okay.
comment on this set on Bandcamp is green light with some hearts on it. So maybe like with everything, it's just the fucking vocal minority, and it's just a
Yeah.
couple of crybabies that are making everyone think that this show is not as good as it is, because it's a good time. It's a dance
Mhm.
party. If you went to the Gorge to dance to STS9 and Pretty Lights, you got what you paid for.
Mission accomplished for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely. All right, Scotty, we got one more clip from STS9's last show in the Pacific Northwest, which was about a year ago at Cascade Equinox Festival. So finish off our time capsule in Redmond, Oregon, which is just outside of Bend. That's setlist fuckery right there, Mr. Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is you don't see a whole lot of stuff go into Equinox. Equinox usually is the start of whatever's happening.
Yeah,
Um,
you got that Be Nice Equinox in New Orleans on
that's
the New
right.
Year's run
I
too.
had
So,
deja vu as I was saying that, and
hmm
I couldn't put my finger on why I did. And I even went back and I was like, "Did we talk about this before in our top
yeah,
10 recap?" You're right. We talked about this again. So maybe this is where Equinox is going. Um,
I'm fucking here for it.
yeah, man, it's a
It's
great seg song. And it's still every time it happens, you're like, "Oh, well, an Equinox in the wild, throw the Pokeball."
Right. Fucking throw the master ball. Jesus. Catch this monster. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, man. STS9 Equinox, that's dirty work right there, Mr. Zach Velmer. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Um, this was a great set. Again, at Cascade Equinox Festival. It took place in Redmond, Oregon, right outside of beautiful Bend, Oregon, which is an unbelievable place if you ever get the chance to go. Um, Surge opener into Scheme into STS9 into Equinox. Hell of an opening segment here. I'm sure this might be a set that gets slept on by some people just because it was right after Camp Elsewhere, so everyone was
Mhm.
listening to those boards. They went from Camp Elsewhere all the way here. I think this was like the next fucking day or something like this. So they went from New York to Oregon to knock this set out, and it's a good one. It is a good one, and
Yeah.
the where we've left off on the Pacific Northwest time capsule, which looking for some more STS9 history to be etched into that book this weekend. And yeah, like we said, I think this is an absolute no doubter. This 4 day stretch of STS9 is gonna fucking smoke.
Mhm.
So speaking of, let's do some predictions, Scotty.
Let's do them.
Can we agree on a few things?
Let's hear
No
it.
human dream.
I thought we already agreed on that.
But you had some pushback on it. No human dream.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
We're good with that.
Pushback's done. Yes.
Do we want to do 5 songs?
Because we're talking 4 days. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
All right.
Um,
Ceremonials
okay.
in can flip for the first pick.
Okay.
This is heads, Coolment 6,
Yep.
tails, cover the barcode.
Cool.
Call it in the air,
Cool, man.
barcode. All
Barcode.
right.
Okay.
I'll take the first pick. I'm gonna go with Haze.
Okay. Um, I'll take your Chromolite song and raise you a Chromolite song. I'm gonna go with Fires.
Fires, love it. Like that pick a lot. I'm going Demby.
Okay. I'm going Poseidon
Like it. Good
as an
pick.
Evanston's Jam Cruise.
Like it. Like it a lot. I'm going You're It.
Okay. We just listened to it. Equinox.
Equinox. I'm going Ramon. Our boy Cece's gonna be there. You know he is
Is
already.
he?
He's already fucking up the band's ear with
Sure.
needing a Ramon. I'm going with the
Yeah.
Ramon. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's
Cool.
gonna get it?
I'm gonna go Totem.
Totem. All right. And my final pick is F word.
Nice. My final pick is Monkey Music.
Monkey music. All right. A lot of points on the board here. 5 points available for each Podpodular guest here. But yeah, that wraps it up, guys. We will have a lot to unpack the next time that we talk.
Yes.
To give you a heads up, we're going to do our best to recap these shows in one episode next week. But if we get handed what we think we're going to get handed, we might have to break this up into 2 different weeks for a recap of the Pacific Northwest run because we don't have our next very special guest. I'll just leave it at that until the week of July 28th, leading up to the Asheville shows. that is going to be one you don't want to miss. But at the very least, we'll have some boots on the ground for these recaps. I've got a handful of friends that are going to be at all 4 shows. My very dear friend, Mr. Ryan Firm, who is my ex co-host to my college radio show, Groove Night with Nasty Nate and Filthy Firm. He's going to be at both Seattle shows. So he hasn't seen the band in a very long time. So I cannot wait to get his reactions from things boots on the ground. But if we split things up into a couple episodes, we might have some folks that were at the Portland and Bellingham shows as well. But that's it, Scotty. Any last words?
Man, have fun in the Pacific Northwest, guys. I am jealous, but I'm happy for anybody that's going to be there. It's like we said at the beginning. I have a really good feeling about these 4 shows, particularly that Sunday show. But everybody that's getting started tonight, hopefully you're enjoying this on an airplane or in a car ride to this first day tonight. Best of luck, and have a blast on our behalf. Yeah.
Do your stretches, stay limber, drink water, support your local dispensaries on this trip. Oregon weed prices are very fair and a very, very good product out there. So
Nice.
check some of that shit out too. But safe travels, everybody. Enjoy the shows. Thanks for watching and listening, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Throw us a like, a follow, a subscribe, or a comment or a review if you're feeling nice. But have a great weekend, y'all. Much love.